Cal, this is going to be the next in a long series of videos and conversations we've had about video games where I am incredibly conflicted about things.
Oh God,
and I'm hoping that this will illuminate some of it. So this is the console. This is it is £25. It's on Steam, PS4, and Xbox as of now, as released on the 13th, so not long ago. And it is one of the most interesting things I'm probably going to play this year. And
that's a big statement to say in March.
Yeah. So let's just get into this, and I'll explain why. So while we're doing this, I can tell this is a weird publisher when the prompt is A for validate and not validate,
like, continue or whatever.
Yep. So I'm just gonna let this go. So this is the start of the game. I've skipped the intro, which is like just a couple of minutes of setup, but it'll all become very simple.
Here's how to do this or whatever.
Not even that, like just very little bit of story setup, but I will get into this. So some precursors. This game is technically kind of busted in a couple of really interesting ways. It is impossible to change resolution without breaking the game and having to restart it. I switched on subtitles and lost audio for a little bit. I had to switch to medium because it ran not great, and I have a reasonably decent PC, so let's just say this PC version. So the way this looks, it does look better when you turn everything up. So I just want to clarify that just before we go anywhere. It does look better than I'm advertising it here, but when I'm trying to record,
you can't make it run higher because it breaks. Is that the?
No, it runs fine. It's just the frame rate's not great.
Right.
So I prioritize from some frame rate rather than making it look good.
Oh, what?
So this game, if I was to try and describe it to you, is like a Telltale game on steroids.
Which, by the way,
is. So this intro sequence, the reason why I've started here, apart from the fact it's kind of the start of the game, is that it rolls out the mechanics that seem super complicated, but once you get your head around them, it's actually such an interesting idea that I'm super into. Once you get past some of the technical aspects.
That's a face.
Yeah. Very stylized. But all of the scenery and stuff looks really good. Like once we get into the mansion,
like that looks like good water as well.
Yeah.
Like,
so the people.
But then the face just doesn't look.
Wait, there's a guy.
Something about that that's really
there's a guy you will probably see by the time we stop recording here, who has a amazing and terrifying face. So you don't actually know much more. The intro basically has you and your mother tied to some chairs and being interrogated about a book, about the location of a book. At which point you escape and take the guy out, and then your mother says that she has a mission to go on. She needs to go do a thing. She needs to go do it on her own, and that was a month ago. So it's a dialogue tree, like it has this stuff. So I'm just gonna go with this for now.
We have some business to take care of.
The other reason I wanted to show you this part of the game is because it has one of the simultaneous best and worst line deliveries of a game I think I've probably ever seen.
That's starting to remind me a lot of the Technomancer.
It
if you remember
has
that.
so
I doubt that you came
like it's just busted in the right way.
Yeah, like the graphics, the visual aspect of it kind of suggests that it's a very high budget kind of like a lot of effort went into this thing, and then like the dialogue in times does it, but in times doesn't quite get there. But once you kind of ratchet your expectation down a little bit, it's super enjoyable. Like, so I should also say this is an episodic game. The 25 quid will get you access to all 5 episodes. Only the first one obviously out right now. First episode I did in about 3 hours probably. So it's not the shortest of these.
Here, everything is possible.
So you've been invited to. Sorry, I've been talking over this dialogue, but I've got subtitles on. But basically, you've been. This guy, Lord Mortimer, does these get-togethers, these parties for very prestigious people throughout the world, and you've been invited along to one of them.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet.
Is this after your mother was tied to a chair?
This is a month later after the intro.
Right.
A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious.
If
I'd known, I would have gone for a better suit.
So
I don't know about this voice
bit,
acting,
right?
man.
Let's just give this a minute. When this flashback happens, the first line he says, okay? I'm just gonna let
Okay.
this play, okay?
Okay.
You think he bleeds a little bit and then has a little bit of a moment,
A tremor.
a little bit of a tremor. Okay, here we go.
Does
Wait,
everybody?
here we go.
Oh
Wait.
god.
Mother? Oh shit, your hand.
That was it. That was it. This out of nowhere. Oh shit, your hand.
Okay,
That's
it's done.
Right.
Did you put it
So
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
so
not sure
so imagine me.
What happened to her hand? What the fuck is going on?
I have no idea. She also, when I left her a month ago, was not this beaten up,
Absolutely sure.
and she had both
Okay.
hands. So this is the point when I started playing this, where I was like,
Don't.
What?
Wait, we're also panning backwards and forwards between a woman and the guy.
"Yep,
What
that's the Duchess from earlier."
Other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But
The accents are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
This is.
So this game has a style.
I can see that. Oh god, that's
It's a lot of blood.
flashback so hard that he bled out of his
Yep.
nose.
Louis, are you alright? What's going on?
Where are we? Is this like the real world? Like,
This is the real world. This is just so we're at this. So this dude's mansion, as you saw, we had to sail over to it at the start, like it's in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Did
in
they
the
like
middle of-
place it? Did they tell you where it is?
Nope, not really. You'll
Okay.
when you meet some of the characters later on, you'll get a rough idea of what time period we're in. But as far as I can tell, this is real world. This is
Because they said Louis, and I was like, is this France? But then
So-
everybody has an England and American accent, so I don't know what.
you get this pretty early on, so I'm not really spoiling anything, and I don't think we'll get there in this video. But there are real world people in this game. Like
Okay.
in about 10 minutes, I meet George Washington. Right? Like
Excellent, fantastic.
okay,
What?
so
This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake?
so
I absolutely need to find you.
I'm getting a real Guybrush Threepwood vibe off of this
so
guy. I don't know why.
I think it might be the same voice actor. I thought exactly the same thing.
Ah, okay.
Might need to check that. But anyway, so this is the actual bit of the game. There's going to be a lot of mechanics and stuff that roll out in a second here, but this part of the game is like an adventure game, right? You walk around, you look at shit, you have an inventory, like all of that stuff is stuff you understand and have seen in games before.
Right.
Let's just go up here. So it's got the same thing where it kind of highlights stuff you can interact with once you get close enough.
I had something I wanted to ask,
Um,
but we didn't happen to run into each other.
so let's.
Yes, Duchess?
So here's the first
I'm
bit
not
of
sure if you
mechanics.
remember, but
I
we
think.
met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Right. So.
Oh god, there's classes? What?
Right? Right. So this is the point where I started going, okay, there's something to this. So you have to choose a class, right? So I went with detective in my actual playthrough. So stuff like
Yeah.
questioning and noticing details and all this kind of stuff. There's also
The
cultist.
things that you think you would be good in an adventure game.
Totally.
Like,
But the occultist, however, has manipulation, occultism, erudition, sciences, subterfuge, diplomat, politics, etiquette, linguistics, conviction, and diversion. This one
Right.
is super interesting, so I'm going to go with this for, well,
yeah, go for it. Like it's.
I kind of want to do what I
What's
did
interesting? What's interesting about the diplomat? Like, why is it interesting?
because the skills that you're good at here, I was
Yeah.
really lacking at when I played as the detective, and you'll see in a
do
sec.
that. Like it's. Yeah,
It's
do the
more
thing
that-
that you've not
yeah,
seen
okay,
before, because
yeah.
then you can experience it all.
Okay, so now since I'm the diplomat, I know there's a skill tree, right? And XP and
Okay.
levels and
In
shit.
an adventure game.
Yep.
Okay.
So because I chose diplomat, I get level 1 of all these skills for free. So like the thing like linguistics and diversion and politics and all this kind of stuff. These ones
Etiquette.
all start at level 0, except for psychology, where I've got a level in that or a point in that for some reason, and I've got 3 points to spend. So let's do what would be useful. Let's take. Let's take
I've not
psychology. So I'll get level 1 psychology.
Sure.
And I've got 1 left point, so I'm going to do 1 in subterfuge right now. So you'll see that it says level 1 there. It says unlocks dialogue options and actions. That is
Right.
the core of this game. So let me just confirm this.
Are all these skills related to like
This game is-
discussion, or
this
are they,
game
like,
is-
physical things that?
This game is entirely dialogue. It is all about conversation. It's about manipulation of people. It's about getting information out while reacting to people in the right way. It's like I say, it's super fucking fascinating. And this was the point where I was like, okay, there's something here I need to know. So all of this dialogue is totally different from when I chose detective. Like, because I said I was in politics, like I've got a bunch. This is all different, right?
Yeah, well, she's talking about like revolutionaries and stuff. So
Totally.
Well, they say I have the
maybe it's during the French Revolution. I think that would be appropriate.
Fine.
Again, slight maybe spoilers, but like if you look at the credits for this game, you'll see it. I think it's actually on the front page. Napoleon is totally in this game. Like at the time when Napoleon was Napoleon, right?
Right. The way he was Big Chief Napoleon.
Yep.
Please excuse me, madam.
The big man.
I'm sure we've met.
So there's a couple of other things I want to point out here.
I appreciate your honesty.
Is it that woman's breasts because they're like reflective and stuff and
I-
really distracted?
It's the first
The costumes in this game are something else. They're really good.
It seems very weird.
But I was sitting with my wife playing this initially, and she was like, "There is no way that top works in any possible way."
Like in a physical manner.
In a physical manner, that would have to be basically duct taped to her for that to react correctly.
Sure.
So
Okay.
In the office of William Pitt.
Well, would it not be like a corset or whatever? So
even then, like
I don't know.
even then, it apparently it would just fall off your front. Like it would have to be glued
Okay.
to you.
Doesn't matter.
So
Sure.
anyway.
Right, time to go to the manor.
So I think they revealed a little bit in that intro. Okay, so opportunities. So the skills that you've selected allow you to discover hidden details. So this is timed, so I'm just going to do it.
Oh.
Explain what happened.
Okay, go for
so
it.
I'm going to do it.
Validate that.
So then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to notice this.
Oh,
Ask
okay.
her a question. She answers with another. Is she playing with me?
So you have. So you use your skills to pick out bits of conversation and bits of people that make sense. Also, personalities, right? So every one of the characters you meet is vulnerable to some stuff and immune to other stuff. So if I go into the menu, which I can't do yet, but I'll do it in a second.
Emily, please excuse my.
So I've discovered that particular branches of conversation to do with logic she is immune to, and what that means is you're not going to get anywhere if you try and out-logic
Sure.
her.
Okay.
That doesn't mean she's immune to logic. It means that logic is not going to get you where you need to go.
Yeah, it means that in conversation, a logical discussion is not going to get you what you want.
Exactly.
What's an effort point?
So
They were
I'll
talking about
I'll explain that in a
effort points.
second. So talents
Okay.
are other little talents are basically like little challenges that I'll show you in a second. So now I can control again. So if I go into the menu, so let's go into the journal for a start. So these are all the characters
Oh,
you've
God.
met so far. So let's go over.
It's another developer using the Destiny menuing system.
Yeah, it's all Destiny menu inside here. So you can see before I did that we've discovered she's immune to logic, but we don't know what her vulnerability is yet. For instance, this is me. This is
The
the
Richard.
cardinal we met at the dock. Again, we don't know much about him yet. And then that's your mother, which again we don't have a lot. What's that?
I feel like the name of that priest guy is real. Like
There's-
I feel like he's a real person.
Totally. Like a lot of these people, like I said, there are a lot of real people in here. So we've seen the character. So this is the talents. So again, like, these will do things like when you reach level 5, when you reach level 10, when you use your manipulations, fail 2 confrontations, read 5 manuscripts, that kind of stuff will all get
Okay,
you.
sure.
Apparently, if
These
you play
bonuses.
Warframe, you will get something. I don't know what that icon is there, but okay.
That looks like the Warframe icon.
Yeah, it does. So there's stuff in there, and then
What's
trait.
the
Sorry, what's that?
there's like what's the fire one? There's
Fire
one that says
one.
fire on the third row.
Oh, this one.
Oh, sorry, fourth row. That one.
Decrease your effort points to 0 during a quest. That kind
Oh,
of stuff.
okay, sure.
And then traits are little things you'll do based on the conversations you have. So, for instance, because in the intro there was a decision about trusting or not trusting your own mother, I got the
Yeah.
trusting one, so I gained a point in a skill point in psychology. I'm a diplomat, so that's given me some stuff. So the decisions you make and stuff will fill out the traits and like influence your
Sure.
character in some interesting ways. There's a straight up map, and then your inventory has some stuff, and also manuscripts, which are another little thing in here. Also some consumables.
Oh, the skill books, right? Okay, that's fine.
Actually, yes. Like, actually, yes.
Well, is it that manuscript said like +1 to agility or whatever?
Yes, totally.
Skill book.
It's a skill
That's-
book. So, so there's some consumables. So see the... Oh, here we go.
This is all very complicated for a narrative.
Right, so once you start getting into it, it all makes a lot of sense. And once I have this conversation with the servant in a second, it'll explore a little bit more. I'm just going to very quickly have a look around here. So again, you can just grab stuff. Royal jelly.
Royal jelly line
that's
all
one
over
of the consumables.
Here.
Can I... Oh, do I need to talk to him first? I think I need to talk to him first. Let's go do that. There's a lot to
I'm
that.
already flummoxed by this game.
Right?
This is...
Okay, so...
Can I ask your name, please?
Louis Moraz de Riche.
I'll also say, like, even though some of the deliveries are not
That's
great...
his own name.
No, but like, so
yeah.
like... There
Ooh.
I must tell you, we are doing
Sorry, that guy's got a cool mask.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. A lot of the deliveries in French are actually really good. Like, they sound like French speakers later on.
Are they
some of them
Are
do.
they a French developer, maybe?
They are a French developer. This is their first game.
Okay.
So
Can you tell me about the
the important thing here is that your mother's gone missing. So she went on this mission to this island. She went to go do something on this island and then has gone missing. She got to the island for sure. Everyone knows she was there, but then she just disappeared. So currently the staff of the manor are trying to find her on the island somewhere.
Hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this.
Yeah, the mask's really cool.
What do you
That is, yeah.
All the servants look
I'm a
like
big
that.
fan of good masks.
Yeah.
A few of her things, or even traces.
So she's been camping out on the island. She's not even in the house, really.
Is because lights
Um,
were spotted there last night.
where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen.
Yeah, so the bottom left is the effort points thing that we were talking about before. So basically, in conversations and particular scenarios, you'll want to use the skills that you have. So for instance here, right? So again, this is timed, so I'm going to explain this now.
Sure.
So your skills give you access to unique choices and actions which cost effort points. So if I validate this, so I don't have the questioning skill, so I can't do this. So I just have to go, okay, were there any witnesses?
But if you did, would that be like you spend an effort point to then do
So
that, or is
the amount of effort points it costs depend on how difficult the thing is. So it's got straight up like
Right.
DC kind of from.
So that's a system that is in the Numenera role-playing system.
Oh, right,
Where you
okay.
can like spend effort to get more dice to roll.
Sure.
Like basically increase your chance of doing a thing. So that's kind of interesting.
So it's not even that it's a chance. Like you'll definitely do it if you can spend the points on it. But the more difficult,
it's-
the more difficult it is, and the less leveled you are, the more effort points you'll have to spend. And it's
Sure.
just straight up like if it's difficulty 3, you have this level 3 skill, you'll be fine.
What the hell she was doing here?
Where exactly did you
Actually, no,
find
that's not technically true. If you have level 1 in the skill, you can use the skill in conversations like here. Okay, so this is not timed, so I can explain this. So this one, for instance, I have the conviction skill at level 1, and this is a difficulty 0. So this is going to cost me nothing to use, right? Because it's difficulty 0.
Okay, sure.
All of these are difficulty 0. If it's any higher than 0, it will cost you that amount of effort points to use that skill.
Like the difference between your level and
So
the difficulty.
so it's not even
number of
that.
effort
So level
points, or-
level 1 you can do it. Level 2 it takes 3 off the effort that you need to do it. So if it's a difficulty of 4, it'll only cost you 1 if you're level 2
Right.
in the skill. Level 3 you can use it for free.
Okay, sure.
But I can't show you here, but it takes a lot of points to get to level 3 in a particular skill, so you kind of have to specialize if that's the direction you want to go. So again, here, this is a really good example. I have conviction, so I could just, like, through sheer force of will, get him to give me back the handkerchief. Or I can try and out logic of him, add logic skill. Or I can use my manipulation skill, if I can. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to...
That handkerchief belongs to me. Please hand it over now.
So there's... so now we know that the servants are vulnerable to conviction, the conviction skill. So you're more likely to get through stuff if you use conviction on them. That's super
Yeah.
interesting, because that's not what they were vulnerable to in my game.
There is still much to
Oh,
in order to
okay.
welcome
So I assume the servants are vulnerable to whatever your chosen class is, just for initial stuff.
It is indeed your handkerchief.
There are like one of the problems that I have with a lot of the Telltale games is the kind of what people refer to as the story diamond, where you start from a point, everything kind of branches out in the middle, like to a bunch of different
But all
choices.
focuses back.
Yeah. So there are a lot of potential choices and stuff you can actually do in this because you just don't have the skills. And very quick, like, so the end of this episode, there's a choice, a pretty big choice at the end of the thing. I'm going to come back to this. It's a pretty big choice at the end of this episode, and I restarted the last chapter and just chose the other choice. Completely different ending to the episode. Like, completely different ending.
Some rope.
That's cool.
Yeah, like there's some variety. Like there's a lot of effort gone into this in terms of like just the dialogue. Like the ability to use all of the skills will give you very, very different bits of dialogue. So let's just look in here because I know.
See what's hidden inside.
So let's see. She spent a bunch of time in the wharf apparently, and when your mother when she was
Find
here.
a clue.
So this is kind of the thing. So I originally had the logic skill when I had it last time, so I could just go find a clue, and he will immediately find the clue. So let's see what happens when I don't have that skill. Oh, so this is totally different, right? So since I had the skill, it would immediately go, oh, that looks suspicious. Whereas now I'm like, okay, let's have a look. So these are all just letters to other people. Which, do any of these look important? Let's have a look at this one.
A letter written in an Oriental language.
I know that language
Oh.
because I have the linguistic skill.
This
That's
letter's in
handy.
Japanese. It's addressed to a certain Kei Shotaro in Tokyo.
So I'm trying to remember which.
Oh, when it's great. It gives like this when voice acting is like almost there, but it just
Totally,
falls short.
and that's all of this game. Like,
Yeah.
like a lot of the time it's really good, and then every now and then it just kind of.
No. Can't seem to place it.
I'm desperately trying to remember which one it is.
Probably a
What happens, I wonder, like, if you guys can't... Okay. If you guys can't, your guy can't immediately find a clue, like, are you gonna get discovered or something
So
like
there's
that?
at the end of every act. So I think there's like
order since
4 acts in this first chapter. There's it basically it straight up does the
Cairo, Egypt.
like, here are the things you succeeded on, here's the things that you missed, and here's the alternate paths you could have taken. And it's like, oh fuck,
Oh, okay, so
that
it
was
just lays it out all in front of you.
yeah, and it's like, oh, that was an option, huh? Okay.
This
Oh, I
envelope
did
is meant
that.
For the Vatican.
Yeah, so I don't think I have the skills to get any of these, and I cannot remember what
Sure.
the name was I originally did, so I'm gonna have to just leave this.
No. Can't seem to place it.
So yeah, I'm just gonna have to just leave that. So there's another thing that I couldn't do the first time that I wonder if I can do now, interestingly enough. So if I go back here, there was this here.
Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently.
What?
Pieces are still
Okay.
and the tip is
How is that old bar miserable? I don't,
Again, some of the dialogue is a little bit
Yeah.
off, but like, it kind
Like
of...
come in handy.
Also infinite inventory, like an adventure game. It's great.
I've played, I was gonna say, I've played these games before. I know that you always need an iron bar.
Yeah, so I'm
That's-
gonna go down here and just explore the wharf a little bit.
Great. Honey.
So the royal jelly is a consumable that will let me regenerate effort points, basically. So if I spend them, I can
Wooden
take some
floor.
jelly to recoup them. I really wish I'd taken the vigilance skill now. Okay.
Probably comes from this part of the wharf. The wood is slightly eaten away, of course.
There's a super interesting mechanic with the consumables as well, where if you use more than 4 consumables in an act, then you become intoxicated and you get everything becomes slightly more difficult.
Ah, okay.
They don't tell you that.
Very limited thing.
They don't tell you that, and then it happens, and you're like, oh shit.
Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded.
So
Use your bar. Oh.
if I had
wow.
subterfuge, I could pick the lock, but no, I'm going to use the iron bar.
What? Yeah. Make it look like someone's forced their way into this. That's a great idea.
So again, like,
Clearly, I'm not much. of a
separately
leader.
from like the Telltale games and stuff like that, I don't think there's like there does not feel like there's a... I don't even have the agility skill. Fuck. Okay, never mind. So I can't even get in there. So I can't really find anything.
I was gonna say, as a diplomat, I feel that your skills would be more suited towards people and
Yep,
situations
totally.
rather than
And-
forcing locks.
And literally, like, the next section will probably let me do some more stuff than...
There's something not right about this floorboard. It's different from the rest.
You're a smart man. Let's
Yep.
use the iron bar.
So
There's iron bar on wood.
I don't think this was here.
That does it. Let's see what's hidden inside. There's a book.
This was not here when I played through this last
Oh,
time.
this is something completely different. Alright, sure.
Cosmographicum. I know that book well. Mother used to read passages from it to me
What?
all the time. And judging from what I can see, it's the same one as hers.
It's your mother's book.
Crying out loud.
Because you know that just by looking at it. I don't know.
Yep. So yeah, so this is okay, cool. So that's the manuscripts.
Manuscripts.
So basically, at the start of each act, you choose a manuscript to read for that act, and then at the end of the act, you get the benefit.
Food, a few toiletries,
What the
a small key, and some kind of black powder.
Take the black powder.
Yeah, examine the powder.
The bottom of the bag is covered in black powder.
Oh, that's really helpful. Take all of it.
A piece of bacon and some bread. The fruit's still firm. Bread's a bit stale. From the smell, the seeds been here.
Oh man, I'm gonna need to play this.
You should play this.
Left the last
This is right up my alley. This is so very nearly like a B movie that it's just it's hitting the right thing. Yeah, take the key. Of course.
I wonder if this key will now let me in
counting on it.
that door.
Key to the bag.
Right. Just in case, I'll take
Yeah.
There you go.
Take the whole bag.
So again, this was not here when I played through it because I had the agility. Because I had the other skill, I could look at the letter, and I had the agility skills, so I could get through here.
Obviously feel like you're in danger.
Okay, use iron key.
That's
Hey,
handy.
so I could bust through that because I had the agility skill last time.
Sure.
So let's
Let's see if there's anything different in here. 'Cause
Yeah,
it seems like things are being shaken up.
Yep.
Case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has
Was that there
anything to
before?
do with your
Yes,
mother,
that was
but
here.
it does.
I'll let you know if there's something different.
Right.
Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful.
So it
God
seems
damn
like
it.
it also seems like the visions are new to him. This is not a thing that happens.
Yeah, like.
There's also just straight up collectibles.
Oh, okay.
So like,
Sure.
Amber.
What was that, Reed? Come on.
don't know.
For a lot of barrels.
I sounded like you wanted to fuck that bit of amber. That's not.
What do we hear? It's cannon powder.
Okay.
So don't have science.
You're
so I
not a
can't-
scientist, yeah.
I don't know what the person who left this barrel like.
You don't have to be a scientist to know it's gunpowder. Just
No,
sell
but
it.
you'd be able to look more at it
Someone
than
on
that.
this island has gone through a whole
So-
lot of trouble
Yeah,
to find
because
themselves.
me with my science degree
Yeah,
allows me
true.
to look at
Yep.
things a bit closer.
Totally. I mean, that's what your job is, right? You just stare
Yeah.
longer at stuff.
I have to show people. I have to show people my degree before I'm allowed to get within like 5 foot of looking at anything.
Yep.
That's
And Nessie-
no, trust me. I'm a scientist. I'm allowed to look at this.
Conduncia mundus ergatio.
So now I didn't
Oh,
have this.
Latin. Yeah.
So I didn't have this last time.
Don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree.
Ah, so now I know that since that's outside his house, I know that he's probably. Where's the? Oh, that's not him. Oh, we haven't actually met him yet, but we know that. So because I had that skill, I now don't. I didn't have that last time. So I'm gonna do this scene
No, he's immune to
conviction.
being forceful.
So you,
yeah.
being forceful with him isn't gonna get it. So I'm gonna do this scene because it's really cool, and then we'll probably wrap it up there.
How did Mortimer
Okay.
manage to build his man?
Just because visually it's something else, and also like you get to see a couple more of the characters.
I mean, that door's really weird and impressive, but
Yep.
okay.
I understand I'm saying a lot of things that are negative about this. I really enjoyed this. Like, I really got into this first episode. There's
No,
a-
like
there's-
this is you now understand how I felt about like the Technomancer, where
But,
it's
like-
like you can tell how bad this thing is, but it's
No, but it's
enjoyable,
not. Like,
you
it does a lot of things really right. Like, the story is super interesting. The characters are really good. Some of
But,
the
like-
some of the dialogue could
But
be
you
better.
said it broke when you tried to change the resolution of it. That's-
Again, technical things can be fixed in patches, right? Like that's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
kind of have to look past that. And once you've done it,
Whoa.
once you've done it
Is that
once,
Zeus?
yes, that is
Oh,
Zeus.
okay.
Impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn right. That's-
I was looking for you.
What can I do for you?
Who has
Sir
a
Eminence?
giant bust of Zeus in there?
This dude.
Fuck, okay.
The son of Sada Dedice, aren't you? You see, your
That's
mother
George
and I
Washington,
were
by the way.
supposed to meet here on
Okay,
this very spot.
cool.
I was supposed
Can
to
tell by
find
the
a
white
very
curls.
important
Yep.
envelope, but I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she
So
was
this
coming.
is the last big mechanic,
Anyway,
I think,
I oughta
in the
take
game,
envelope.
and I think we'll
It
probably
might
cut it
have
after
something to
this.
do with her disappearance.
So,
Listen, if it will help,
Whoa.
you can always come to me.
so these are
What?
these are basically conversational boss battles, right?
Right.
There's something similar.
During
To,
competitions.
there's something
Okay,
very
sure.
there's something very similar to this in the new Life is Strange game, but
Right.
interesting. So basically, we have 4 steps where we need to kind of basically, and the objectives in the top right? Persuade him to entrust this letter that is destined for my mother, and I'm supposed to take it off his hands, right?
Sure. Okay.
So, I can make 3 mistakes, like it says at the top. I need to convince him 4 times, basically, to complete the confrontation. So for the first step.
You happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
So this is not timed, so this is fine. So, would you happen to know if your mother's never arrived yet? So, what do we know about him so far? He's a cardinal, so probably not gonna like being forceful with him. Probably not gonna get you anywhere. So this is a yes.
Your Eminence, Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right.
So-
I shall see her tomorrow then.
Oh.
So
By
that's the
the way,
first
Your
step.
Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will
Okay.
follow in her
This
footsteps.
is.
Yep.
Only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us,
That's a dope hand tattoo he's got as well.
I was gonna say there's something about that guy. I don't know about
As we work together on a daily
uh,
bases,
cardinals having tattoos on their hands.
There's a character we're probably not going to see here, but later on, some of the best in-game tattoo work I think I've ever seen. Like, it's real
Sure.
good. Okay, so what do you do exactly? So because I've got etiquette, I could blag my way as being an art collector.
But you'd have to spend effort for that, right? 'Cause
But
you're on
that's
level 1.
difficulty 2, so it cost me 2 points.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't have occultism, so I can't use that. I could just say it's a professional secret, or I could say that we're just members of the Golden Order. So I think they
I don't even know what that is.
So I think they established that in the prologue. But basically, your mother is the head of a secret society called the Golden Order that you're also
sure.
a member of.
Well, let's not talk about that.
That's probably not a good idea, right?
Let's try and say we're an art collector.
Okay.
Mother passed her passion for art to me.
Because
Ancient art.
cardinals and
Very
stuff are fans of art.
Yep.
I didn't know your mother was an artist.
They like collections.
Mainly pre-Christian objects, which
So
are believed
the other
to
thing I
be
really like is that they've if you start using like your erudite skills, like your politics or your languages or your literature and all this kind of stuff, he just goes. He's like, yes, like it was. This is like a pre-Elizabethan. Like they've done their
Yeah.
work, right?
Look,
So like if
help, you can always
your
leave
character
it.
says that they are
You know, give it to her
very
so
like
she's-
erudite or whatever, they speak.
They
very
know it.
well,
They know
like,
their stuff.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person.
So I've only got 5
That's not
effort
te-
points.
that's not terrible voice acting either.
No, like a lot of them are really
the
good. Like,
Cardinal's not bad.
Emily's really good. The Cardinal's really good. Oh, this one's timed. I can't do any of this. Yes, I will definitely give it to her when I find her.
Yeah.
Listen, you have
And
nothing
did you see like the one at the top right there was the
I will give your letter to
manipulate
my mother the
skill,
moment
which was
I
something
find
along the lines
Yeah.
of like
Moment you find
I'll just use reverse psychology and say like no, I don't want it in the first place.
Shit.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
So
Let's not
I fucked that up
exaggerate
because
things.
he didn't know that
I
she
have
was
no
missing,
information at this
so
time.
I just gave
Yeah.
away that she was missing. So
Listen to me, my child.
I've only got 2
If I
mistakes
give you
left.
the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
So the last step of the confrontation basically is this has to go right, and we'll continue to. You can try as many blunders as you have left, but if
Okay.
But if
sure.
you fuck
I
up
was
the
gonna
last-
say like if it was like a big major thing. What
uh,
the fuck? What's that bottom left one? Diversion.
yeah, that's diversion.
That's.
That's science.
I mean, use your skill. Like, you see what
Your
happens.
Eminence, if there is one thing you can count on, it is the value of a promise made by a Doriche. Respecting our commitments has always been the pillar of our family.
Man, that's
And
not
nothing,
where I expected
no
that to
one
go.
Right?
That's.
will prevent
But
that.
even it's a diversion, right? Like he's
Since you know
not
my
answering the
mother-
question.
I mean, yeah, he's now just talking about his family, so
Always
that's
keeps
yeah.
their word. You can be sure of that.
Thank you, my son. is most reassuring.
Nice. That's...
You're welcome. Especially
I wonder if
So
the
that was-
interesting thing about a system like that is like,
Let's
are
stop it.
skills effectively just like a trump card? Like if you use your skill, are you going
So
to pass? Or
that's-
are there bad skills that
So
will?
that's where the vulnerability and immunity stuff comes in. It doesn't tell you until you discover it what people are immune to. So
But in,
you could-
in a situation like that, is that important? Like the,
Yes,
the boss
totally.
fight style situation.
because
you
if you're
understand
because if you use a skill that someone is immune to, they're just going to go, no, fuck you, and you're going to fail that
Yeah,
step,
sure.
right?
This is of your own.
One of the other consumables you can get is like a literal, like you get 60 seconds of viewing people's vulnerabilities and immunities. You don't learn them permanently, but you get to see what it is
okay.
there. But it's a consumable of which you can only use 4 without getting
Sure.
side
High
effects,
as
right?
fuck.
You can be
Yeah.
proud
Yeah.
of me, her son. If only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here,
There we go.
the letter I spoke of.
Oh,
It
nice.
includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick.
So-
Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
I wasn't paying attention to that dialogue, but I assume it's the same as when I got it,
All this
where
out
basically
when I'm alone, whether to look
the reason why he has the letter is that your mother, like he knows your mother's part of the Golden Order, and the Golden Order
Yeah.
were helping get persecuted cardinals out of France, and that is a
Oh, okay.
and that is a list of names of the next bunch of people who are going to go are next to be sent out. So there's just straight up like real art in this game as well, like.
Saturn devouring his son.
Like, these are all actual paintings. They're really well recreated. Like, the light on them looks real nice. Like
This.
I said, like, the scenery is really good. Like, the backdrops and stuff are really awesome.
It is an impressive manner. I will give you
Yeah.
that.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
So, because I don't have erudition, I can't flip through it, but I'll just take it.
You're not erudite.
No,
So.
but now that I have it as a manuscript, if I look at my manuscripts, I can now use it and it will give me a skill point in conviction, because I got some time to study it. Or I
Sure.
would potentially have time to study it. Cool. I'm wondering how long we've been going for. I kind of want to get into this conversation, but also, like, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, maybe leave it like.
Yeah, George Washington's real cool. You have a lot of conversations with him. There's, as you can see,
I mainly don't want to see it because I kind of want to play this now. So
there's, as you can see, like every one of those dots is another character in the that's been invited here. This game's super cool. Like I was really put off initially, but it pays off completely every single part of it. A lot of the dialogue, like initially, seems kind of B level, but a lot of it is also really good. There's some really funny moments. A lot of the situations you find yourself in and the dialogue choices are pretty difficult as well. Like it's a really interesting way to take this style of game of being like, okay, these games are all about dialogue and conversations. Let's make that the game, and let's make you read people.
Yeah,
let's
I've never thought of putting RPG mechanics in like a like narrative dialogue based game. It's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. So this is the console. It's £25 on Steam, PS4, and Xbox. That is all 5 episodes you get for that. Episode 1 is out now. Like I said, it's about 3 hours. Spend some time looking around is all I'll say. Like, go really investigate some stuff here. There's a lot of stuff you can see. Yeah, this game's cool. Thanks, Cal.
Thanks, you.